Hey guys,
Hey.
it's me, Barb, and I'm here today to share with you some helpful tips and tricks and useful information that I wish I'd known when I started playing Palia. Now, it is currently August 8th of 2023, so we are in the closed beta. If you're watching this later, if it is August 10th or after, welcome to the open beta. I'm so excited for you, and I hope this helps you out along your journey. So, I didn't know initially that I could press T to pull up my emotes because I had no clue. The game probably told me, I probably missed it, but you can see here you have 7 emotes. Everything from laugh to clap to wave to no to point. Let's laugh. So you can laugh there. Now, if you pull up your menu, I like to use M for map, M for menu. It's the same in my head, but that's going to take you to your map. But if you come over here, you can go into emotes. Now, you can see this clear all button. You can see there's 7 here. There's more than 7 here. If you want to swap out what's over here, feel free. You don't have to keep the default ones on there. So you could definitely change it out. Like, look at that help one. That looks glorious. So you can make this whatever you want it to be. And I don't know if they'll add more in the future, but you can make your menus for your emotes be different and customize it to the ones you would prefer to use. The next thing I didn't know is if you press K, that's for camera. And so for camera controls, it is right click to look around. So you can see we can move it around. And it is, oh goodness, left click to capture. But let's say you wanted to zoom in. Sorry, my mouse is really sensitive. Or zoom out. You could do so like that. You could turn around. We could take a picture of this backpack sign. We can left click to capture. Now that we've taken a few photos, we need to click recent because it says unsaved photos will expire and we don't want that. So let's say we wanted to save the sign of the backpack, but we hated all the other pictures. We would select that one and click save to album. This is going to save in your file for the game. So basically go through your Windows file path to the game. You'll find your folder with your pictures in there. And you can see this little marker up here, the cloud and the up symbol. It says this has been saved to your album. So anything you don't want to save, just don't click on and don't do that. And you can escape out of the camera or press that back arrow. Now, the next thing that is really, really important is as fast as you can, save 500 money and upgrade your backpack. Because if we go in here to inventory, these first 2 bars, 8 slots each, that is your inventory when you start. This bar up here is what you get when you spend 500. And then this says get pack upgrade Zekis. That's what this one will have said until you spend the 500. The next one's 5,000. That's what I'm working on next. And the next one is 50,000. But I recommended bare minimum getting this one first and then hurrying up and get that. Because the more you can gather and carry with you and the less you have to teleport to sell, the more money you're going to make. So it's going to pay for itself over time, even though it might not necessarily seem like that. So get that early and get that fast. The first 3 tools I recommend upgrading from base to standard are your bow, your axe, and your pickaxe. And the reason I recommend those is you want more wood and ore as quickly as possible. You're going to need to get as many materials as you can to progress and to build things and make furniture. Those are going to be useful. And hunting for me, and it could be different for you all, or it may get changed because this is the beta. Currently, hunting for me is the best money. I can make 3,000 to 4,000 gold in about a half hour, which is great because you spend a lot of gold in this game. And things like fishing for me only gave me 1,300, 1,400 in that same time period, or catching bugs gave me similar, about 1,300 a half hour. My favorite thing for making money right now is hunting, and it's also very easy. If you upgrade your standard bow and you upgrade your arrows to the ones that take copper to make your standard arrows, these ones right here, you can one hit I believe they're cards called Sarnooks. I just call them deer because they look like deer to me. And it is 100% worth your time, and you will make a lot of money, and you'll be able to get the things you want in game. The other thing that I recommend doing is very, very, very quickly do the quest like a bird, unlock your glider, and do house, sweet home, and strong foundations to unlock your house. Once you put the materials in for your house to build, it will take 8 hours. So the sooner you can get that down, the sooner you can get your house, and the sooner you can start decorating. This is a communities tab. It's basically a guild, so if you want to set up one, you can set it up there. This is where relationships are. I did not know a few things about this tab. So you can see a lot of these characters have 1 bar. That means they're not romanceable. You can level friendship with them. You can get these rewards up to level 4 friendship. And this will say their weekly wants. You can talk to them. There'll be a little symbol in the bottom left-hand corner. You click it, you discover what they want. It'll display there. Let's find one where we know what they want. Einar wants a gillyfin. Now, another thing you might notice about Einar is Einar has 2 bars. Einar is romanceable. So basically go through here, level friendship. It says reach level 3 friendship with this villager to unlock romance. And you can see there's additional rewards under there. And you can go through and you can see that Einar, Hassian, Jel, Gina, Kenyatta, Reth, and Tish are currently romanceable. So do pay attention as you're leveling these friendships. I try to level all the friendships because they all have cool rewards. Like, look at this thing. It's not gonna tell me what it is because it's grayed out, but that definitely looks like some sort of telescope to me. So you don't want to miss out on cool rewards when we could be leveling up friendships with people. So level up the friendship with people, probably even if you don't like them, unless you really just, you look at the preview and you don't like their reward. So let's go ahead and check out the shop area. So Zeki's right here. Here's his general store. If we go into the general store, he sells everything from seeds to various meats and stuff like that. It's a very general array, and he tends to buy the most wide variety of stuff. You can sell stuff directly to the general store or whatever vendor buys the specific type of item. So if the shop doesn't sell that type of item, they're not going to want to buy it. So for instance, he would be willing to buy these arrows if we want to sell them to him. And you can see down here, here's your money. It also tells you your gold cap is 3,000. Here's your renown. Tells you your renown cap is 1,000. Don't accidentally hit that 1,000 renown cap. You don't want to waste your renown. Now here we have the lucky box. If you spend a lot of money here with Zeki, he's going to every once in a while give you a lucky coin. And if you use a lucky coin at this lucky box, it's going to give you a little capsule to open. I can't remember the exact word for it, but there's a random item in there, and it can be any number of things, and it's fun to open. So come down here whenever you get one of those. Now, this says open store. I have a little bit of trouble aiming. We're going to go over here and talk to Zeki.
Working hard or hardly working?
You can see here, you can chat with him. This will up friendship with him. So basically he says, if you're in need of fertilizer, I got plenty. I'll give you a good price too. I'm tired of it stinking up the store. Hooey, that stuff is right. But you can see there, we upped our friendship some. And over here, this button will let you give gifts to improve relationships. And when this is, it's currently grayed out, I can't click on it. But when it's not, it says learn what a villager wants this week. What the villager wants this week. And that is what will be lit up in here in your friends menu.
Sorry.
Here with the villagers. So like over in this area for Zeki, if he told me what he wanted, that's where it would say it for us. So absolutely useful unless you want to keep like a notepad to the side. I kind of do both, but make sure you upgrade your bag. Now we were talking about renown. You can use it for a few things, but one of the most important things I found early game was up in here. So if you go down here, you can see your focus. Basically, with your focus, when you have focus, which is this bar here, so let's say I ate this hearty vegetable soup, and it gave me some focus, right? Whenever you earn some experience, some of your focus is used to increase the total experience earned. Now, your focus bonus is currently at 25%. If you were to go to the shrine that's kind of over in the starting area, so basically you kind of spawn in up in here, there's a shrine up in there. You spend some renown up at that shrine, it's going to increase the focus. And there's another quest you can do as you progress a bit further in. that I do highly recommend doing. The quest is from Shane, and as you do the quest, it will give you the Dragon Shrine. At the Dragon Shrine, you can spend renown, and that's going to increase your maximum focus. So like, let's say we're gonna have a big long day and we didn't want to keep eating more food. We could eat enough to fill up to 350 right now, which is what I've got increased to. And that's going to make it a little bit easier and more efficient to level. And the other thing to keep in mind is you saw how the vendors have their cash registers, right? You can buy specific items at them. Different characters are associated with different skills, and they will basically give you quests, and they will have recipes that you can learn from them as you level up your skill with them. So Einar is associated with fishing. If you level up your fishing, at a certain point, he will sell you the recipe for a better fishing rod, tackles, things like that, fishing related rewards. Reth is cooking, Badru is gardening, Hodari is mining, Hassian's hunting, Ani's bug catching, Ashura is foraging, Tish is furniture making, and you will have individual levels in all of those, and those will combine to make your player level, which affects you at least a little bit, equal to the combined total of all your skill levels, increases your renown at each level. So definitely good to keep in mind as you level these. I don't know if it's just in my head. I feel like the higher the level gets, it moves a little bit slower, like in most games. I could just be completely wrong. But how I'm like level 7 in foraging and level 5 in mining, it might be a little bit easier for me to move cooking up to the next level if I was wanting to push this up. But that could be all in my head. So if it is, feel free to let me know. And over here we have accomplishments. So accomplishments are super cool because they give you rewards, they give you something to work towards, and you can see here like Kalima and Bahari Forage Collector. I've got this shell, the unopened oyster, and the emerald carpet moss. It's made some good progress, and when I do this, I'm going to get the Kalima Forager's Basket. And the rewards actually start to get really cool as you go down. One of the ones that I think is extremely cool is the Housing Expansion 2 one, windmill, placeable on the housing plot, and a trophy. And like here is, promote a friend to editor. Oof, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm gonna need, I don't know, I'm gonna need an alt or something. There's no alts, guys. You have one character per account. Blushing Rustic Siding. Over here is Einar's Adornment. Here's a Klima Village map. Like, you can get so many cool rewards, and these take a long time. You're going to be working on this for a while, and it's going to give you a lot of fun stuff to do. So without further ado, because there's a lot of shops down here, and we could spend all day going through them. Like, there's the furniture shop, the library, the tailor, tavern, blacksmith, city hall. Let's use our return home button, which resets every 30 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and check out the plot because there is so much. We could spend all day doing this. I don't want to keep you trapped forever. I think as long as you upgrade your bag ASAP over a Zeki, and you upgrade your renown situation for your focus and your focus bonus, you are going to be doing way better than you would be if you didn't touch those two things, because it's just going to help you progress more smoothly. Now here's your plot. Mine is upgraded a little bit, so we can't pull map in here, but what we can do is we can get an overhead view, and if we pull H, you can see a few things. There's a grid, and then there's a subgrid, smaller lines. If you zoom out, you can see these with a lock on it. It says no writs available. Writs can be purchased at City Hall. So I have used quite a few writs already. You start out with a base plot. So I have unlocked this entire back row and then 2 on each side. So basically a 2x3 here. Originally you start with just a tent. My tent was like right up in here. But you can use renown to get those writs and expand this out. And you can see we can go over here and we can expand even more. But I would caution using too much renown towards expanding in the beginning, because there are some bigger rocks and bigger trees that the first upgrade of the axe and the pickaxe cannot take down. you're going to be looking at your third upgrade on your axe and pickaxe, which takes a little while to get. So when you expand, maybe just expand about to here until you get the next level of axe and pickaxe. I think that will help you. You can see useful things in here like your building limit and your writs up here, and Q and E are for rotate on this page, and you can select items and move them. And with it selected, you can then press Q and E, and you can see we can move that. You can zoom in and out so you can see it a bit better. Super useful for an overhead view. You can also change between slots. So if you make a new slot or a new plot, that is going to give you more variety. And if we hop out of there, we're back to the ground floor. If you go in here, you can press Control, and you can see it brings up your grid lines. You can edit, like let's grab this lamppost. In this view as well. In this view, you can actually use your scroll wheel to turn things, and you can still use Q and E with the item selected. And if you press Z, you can take away the grid lines and still move things, which gives you a little bit more fine-tuned control. Also, if you have trouble with the grid lines, you can get rid of those. But I kind of like using the grid lines. You can press Z to remove them and Z to bring them back. Here's your mailbox. As you level up friendship and stuff, with your quest, you will get mail from people. There will be items, sometimes money. Definitely make sure and open your mail. I'm avoiding that right now because I'm streaming later. I don't want to progress anything, but it's pretty cool. It's basically the Stardew Valley mailbox. I mean, not to make comparisons, but it is. And then if you press F to open here, this is your shipping bin. So the sundial in the upper right hand corner, that's a full hour. At the left and right, when it hits that, this is when this ships out. So next shipment is in 6 real life minutes. So if I were to put this soup in here, I have 6 real life minutes to take that back out if I don't want to sell it. So we can single click with the left, we can right click for all. So left click does a single, right click does all. You can also take stuff from your general storage and fill this bad boy up and get money that way. And you do start out with just your tent, but if you hurry on and upgrade and get your house going as soon as possible, that is going to give you access to decorate sooner, at least for your house, because you can decorate your tent in the beginning, but hey, it's a tent. The other tip for you is these chests. You can have 8 chests placed. They're really cheap to make. I recommend placing 8 chests as soon as you can. They give you 400 storage space each, which takes me up to 3,200. There's better chests you can get in the future, but that's a long-term goal. For now, it's not individual stacks that count, it's individual items. So if you have a stack of like 25 copper, that counts as 25 items. A stack of 141 stone brick counts as 141 items. So do place as many of those chests as you can as quickly as possible to increase your storage. Now these are linked, so it doesn't matter where you put them. Let's say you want to put one near crafting, and you wanted to put one in your house near your kitchen, one in here, and you wanted to hide the rest. You could do that. As long as you have access to one, you're gonna have access to all of them because they're basically linked. So don't worry about where you place them except for convenience. You'll want to place machines pretty early on. I highly recommend in the beginning starting with 2 each of your forge, because you can see a forge does many different types of items. And if you were to put, like, let's say the clay in here, it's not going to process the same time as that silver bar, and I can't go and put this iron ore in there too. I've got to remove the clay. So I recommend having 2 forges in the beginning because you're going to need a lot of ceramic and especially copper, and some of these can take quite a while, and you want to stack them up, and as you're questing, just let them do their thing, and it's going to help you progress more quickly to unlock the things you want and be able to craft the things you want. And the crafting of planks, you're going to need a lot of sapwood. I just leave this processing, and it'll leave it down here. When it's done, we can drag it out. These take a minute each, but let's say you're doing a stack of 100. You're looking at, like, you know, an hour and a half-ish, right? So you don't want to just be stuck with one of these. I ran 2 in the beginning. You do have a machine limit that you can place down, so I did pick up my extra forge and my extra sawmill because I wanted to place down to be able to craft glass with my glass maker. And this also takes stone as well, so make sure and get a lot of stone and wood as you're out gathering because you're going to need it for more than just one purpose. You make glass panes, which you can then turn into glass bulbs. Which is nice because a lot of your crafting recipes that involve making really cute lights need glass bulbs. This is your seed maker. Get this ASAP. It is so good and will start helping you make good money with gardening. So let's say you have your garden set and going and you're also out hunting. It's kind of a double whammy for money and helps you keep going. But seeds are expensive at the general store if you didn't notice earlier. And if you get the seed maker, you can put a veggie or multiple veggies, or like, let's say the stack of 11 wheat. We can toss in here. 1 wheat makes 4 wheat seeds. This multiplies your money. I highly recommend it. Now you do have to remove the item before you put something in. So like, let's say here is our rice, right? But I don't want to be making rice right now, so I'll swap that out. And let's say, ooh, good example. Oh no, my tomato's red. Why is my tomato red? It takes 2 tomatoes to make 2 tomato seeds, so be aware of that. If you put in a star quality veggie, it will give you star quality seeds, so that is useful. So like, let's say we want some star quality rice. We could toss that in there, and rice is 1 for 4 equivalent. Is not equivalent exchange for this. So you're gonna get a good amount of star quality seeds if we toss that in there, and you can see the process time over here. So get that seed maker going and get it going early, and you're gonna find you end up with more seeds than you can handle. And again, there's for our planks. Here's for worms and fertilizer. So you can put anything you'd be able to compost. So meat, veggies, mushrooms. You can toss them in the composter. Let's toss some rice in there. And that's a whole pile of rice going. It takes an hour to process one. That's a lot of processing. I'm just going to grab a couple back out of here. I'm going to toss them up in my storage. And this is access to general storage to your bags. To here, it's all interchangeable. This is going to give me these 2 things. Worms. This helps you get different fish with fishing, very useful. And quality up fertilizer improves your crop quality. There are differences with crop seeds, so you may not always need that, but sometimes it's useful. And that is amazing because otherwise, going and buying worms at the shop, that's expensive. I think they're like 10 gold each. And if you're going to be doing a lot of fishing, why not have a pile of worms? We got 46 worms now, and I've only left this going since like last night when I went to work. So absolutely, I highly recommend the worm farm, and it looks cute as all get out from the top. Look, you can see stuff composted full of worms on it. Now, fabric crafter, you're gonna need this, and you're gonna want it early. You're gonna make some leather and some fabric because you're gonna need it for your glider. You're also gonna need it for some things like crafting a bed. Talking about crafting, here's your crafting table. Anything that does not have a check mark means if you craft it, that's your first time crafting it, you will unlock a crafting recipe for another item. So let's make this homestead small pot because it says ready to craft. We have materials. When I make this, it's going to unlock another item for me. And it's just going to give me the shadow, so we're going to have to guess. This looks like a wall decoration. Ooh, it's dinging. Look what time it is to the right. It's pick up a clock time. This looks like some sort of like dresser. This looks like some sort of table that I could put stuff on. Let's grab a wall decoration. I got a homestead harvest wreath. So if we go back in here, now we should be able to craft a homestead harvest wreath, which we have enough for. So let's go ahead and make that bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, look. We got a homestead dress farm. Well, let's go in here. And you can see it just changes as you go, and it unlocks, and before you know it, you have a ton of cool stuff unlocked that you can craft. I'm looking for that dress farm. Oh, the homestead loot. I need to make this all. Let's make a dress farm. So now we have some things that we can go place in our house. Let's unlock this tiny thing. That looks like it could go on a shelf. Homestead craft. Like, there is so much that you can do with the crafting, and you can unlock. I thought I saw it went by. Yeah, this tiny little thing. So you can get so much stuff to... Oh my gosh, it's a tea kettle. Yeah! So much stuff to decorate. We gotta stop crafting, guys. So let's go in here and let's look at decorating. Because I don't want to keep you stuck here all day. So if you scroll wheel up and down, it's going to take you between your different bars you have unlocked. We want to go to the one that has our items on it. So let's press 3 because that's got our wall decoration. And then we're going to click and that's going to free up where we want to put it. So I think that this could be pretty cute. Up in here. Now, you're like, where's our grid? Press C, your grid will come back. Let's toss this bad boy kinda in here, in this seating area. And you've placed an item. Now let's press 2 for this little pot thingy. This is kind of our kitchen area. You cannot place items on top of the storage chest. Can't place on prep tables, but you can place on side tables. And there's all types of wiggle room to it. So you can kind of just clutter it, if you like the cluttered look, to make it feel lived in. And look, that's like literally placed behind that. Absolutely the coolest thing. So let's check out this dress form. Oh my goodness. I think that this would be quite cute over near the clothing area, maybe near the mirror. Now it's really tight wedge there. So let's get rid of those little lines, right? And let's turn it in catty corner, make it cute. You can get it as absolutely close as possible if you got rid of those lines, because you can go basically partial. And now we placed our dress form. And last one, not least, we have this cute little jar. Now, this table's crowded because that item is too big. We can really get things just snug in here. And you can use your scroll wheel or Q and E. I prefer the scroll wheel. You can rotate it and you have a lot of space. You can go back pretty far before it counts as off the table. You can even place it partially off the table. But I'm going to kind of snug it up in here. Like so. And you can see that we have now decorated a little bit. So decorating is super easy. If you go into the decoration mode for the ceiling, you will see that you cannot put anything in the vaulted ceiling. It's on these rafters. So do keep that in mind, because if you have something like this, you're going to have to place it on the rafter. You can still rotate it. Another tip for you is if you catch 5-star bugs, critters, you can place them. So check it out. It's my pet. Isn't he pretty? You can get creative with all kinds of things, and you can just have a blast decorating. So let's get a quick crash course on cooking. I do recommend keeping a chest near your cooking for ease of access. If we go to cook here, we're going to see we need any mushroom, any spice, and any veggie to make hearty vegetable soup. So let's go into the chest, and we're going to pick out any mushroom, any spice, and any veggie. So let's take 1 mushroom, 1 spice, and any veggie. I gotta find any veggie. 1 onion. That'll work just fine. I'm gonna put them all down here to make it easy for me. You're always gonna start at the stove. Press F to cook. Select the recipe you want. You can see we're going to need the prep station and the stove. It's going to tell you how we make it. We're going to click make. I am not using star quality ingredients, but if we wanted to, we could. If you make a star quality meal, it is placeable on a table for decoration, which is really cool. We're just making the basic version. So click make. Now you may be like, oh shoot, it says stir. I can't stir. What do I do? Go to your prep table. You got to prep first. What are you thinking? So we're going to click prep. We're going to click make. You're looking for the blue to match up to the white, and you're going to click with your left click. There we go. Kind of like a little metronome. And then we're going to put our recipe in. We're going to hold to stir. Hold left click. Success! You have made hearty vegetable soup. Now you are going to press the F key to loot. Congratulations. You are a cook. Gordon Ramsay would be proud. Last thing I would like to show you is in the garden. I've kind of placed these all willy-nilly, and I made a massive mistake. I'm going to give you a second. Guess what my mistake was? Do you have that mistake held in your head? I'm going to show you what my mistake was now. I said G for examine button. If you press it, it's going to tell you what your bonuses are in each crop. Each seed has a different bonus that it can give the surrounding crops. It gives it to the crop that is north, south, east, and west of it. So this carrot gives its bonus to the tomato to the left, the onion to the north, the carrot to the east, sorry, and the cotton to the south, right? So the problem is it doesn't give it to the same quality crop. So over here, this is my mistake. These tomatoes are getting no bonuses. So this is not very well optimized. If you do this right and you stagger it, so basically if you plot out where you're going to place it, you can get everything in your garden to more than likely have 3 bonuses on each. I'm not sure if you can do any more than that because of how the placement is, but you can design a grid shape in which you can get optimum money. You can design a grid shape in which you get a lot of crops for all your beginning quests. And you can design a grid shape where you keep everything always watered. If you plot and plan correctly, you can make very efficient use of your garden. So basically don't do what I did here. And when you initially place your garden and you can't craft anything to put water next to it, because like this doesn't do it, you will more than likely benefit more from having it back here where it's aesthetic, or at least I find it aesthetic, to over here. We're going to select our watering can and fill. This is a long run, especially if you need to water your crops every hour if you place them inefficiently like me and they're not staying hydrated. You got to run back and you got to water. So you don't want to make that run all that often. And you can see here they're ready to harvest. You can see these weeds. If you press F, it weeds. It's not that bad. But if you plan out how you're going to place your crops, you can make so much more money by stacking those bonuses. And again, just press G to examine, and it'll tell you what bonuses you have on what, so you can see if you did a better job than I did. So between all those things, I think you're going to have a fantastic start to your life in Palia. And I hope that you found these tips and tricks useful. And if you did, please click like and subscribe. I'm more than happy to have you here. And if you turn on notifications, it'll even tell you when I go live to stream, which we do occasionally do. And it is oftentimes a blast. So my apologies for the 30-minute video, but if you made it, you are a champ. And I hope you have a wonderful time. So until next time, I'll see you guys around. Bye for now.